सबसे ज़्यादा भूखा शेर आया है। Who's the hungriest is running the fastest. Haina, are you the hungriest? In front? Running fast?
Oh my god. Race. Race. Cutie.
गिरा क्यों रहा है?
What do that? He finished? Arf, he's coming to you. Elephants. Woo!
वीडियो ले
There's more.
More are coming. So beautiful.
Rescue them and raise them here for approximately 3 years. Any time between the age of 3 and 4, we will start to reintroduce all the elephants back into the wild. And we necessarily don't take them where we found them, but we'll always reintroduce them to Savo East National Park and Kibwezi Forest. We do have 3 units in Savo. We do have our keepers at these units. And our keepers will lead the orphans out in the park every day, setting them free in a wild environment so that they can interact, communicate. They decide by themselves not to come back at our units in Savo. They want to stay with the New World Friends, which means the World Friends have accepted the men as part of the family members. And so, they will train them, they will protect them, they will warn them against human beings, they will show them everything within the park, and they will all have become as wild as any other elephant out there. No water, but the babies will keep on suckling them every now and then. And in the long run, the mothers will end up dying fast, and the babies later on. After the mother has died, some of the babies will stick next to the dead body of the mother, and some of the babies will decide to walk away to look for food, to look for water, to look for company. And that's why Mageno was identified all alone, very thin and very weak and very skinny. And that's why we rescued him. Working towards my direction is an elephant by the name Kittich, who is also 2 years old. Was rescued from Kittich camp, which is found in Samburu, who is also a starvation victim due to drought. And that's why we rescued him. Walking along the line is an elephant by the name Latika, who is about 2.5 years, who is the oldest in this group, who is also well known as the elephant with the shortest trunk in the nursery. She just naturally has a very short trunk. And Latika was rescued from Savo Conservation Area. Latika was found trapped in a snare all around her neck, and that's why we rescued her. A snare is a wire trap. Being around the neck will kill the animal instantly. As one struggles to get out of the snare becomes more tight and will suffocate them within a very short period. She's lucky to have been placed within these areas. Then our aerial surveillance will be able to notify the Kenya Wildlife Service Rangers and our teams on the ground will make a follow-up, find out what is happening, and help correct the illegality. And lastly, we do have a community project. And our community project is based within Savo Conservation Area. they will go around the communities that are neighboring the park and the reserve, giving them education on how to coexist and stay together peacefully neighboring one
All
another.
of them are coming.
It is important for the communities neighboring the parks to know what to do, whom to conduct, and how to behave in case they encounter animals in the farms, so that there are no conflicts every now and then between the two. The same community project will go around the schools that are neighboring the park and the reserve, giving education to the children. When the children are still young in school, they need to learn that all animals are important and all animals have the right to life. These animals should not for all other animals in general. So generally, those are the other projects that are being undertaken by the Sherwood Wildlife Trust, which is working together with the Kenya Wildlife Service to ensure that all animals are safe in the parks. The sick ones have been treated and set free, the orphans have been rescued, the snails have been put off, communities and school children have been educated, and the parks are safe for all wild animals. As we wait for the second group to get the milk, if there is anyone with any question, you are free to ask. You just raise up your hand and shout your question one at a time if there is any, please. Yes.
Why is the texture of their skin like that?
Why is
The texture of their skin?
section of the skin?
Texture.
Texture.
Yeah.
There are more wrinkles, and the size of the wrinkles varies from one elephant to the other because they're out in the forest and they need that tough skin to protect themselves from being bricked all the time. That's why they've got more wrinkles.
Why are some ears folded forward?
Folded, others not. Some of the foldings were done by sunburn for those who are found very tiny, and some of the foldings are just natural. If there are no more questions, I will go ahead and mention the group that is before us now. I will start with the elephant next to me. His name is Timber. Timber is approximately 2.5 almost 3 years. He was rescued from Samburu. He was found with a spear wound in the back, which is believed to have been caused by human beings. And that's why he was separated from his family. So that's why we had to rescue him. Next to me here is Mukutan, 2 years old. Rescued from a keeping found on a private farm in the maize plantation. So that's why we had to rescue him, because he was too young to be all alone. The small one taking water from the water trough is Morigo, 17 months, having been rescued from Olmala Conservancy, which is found in Laikipia and a victim of human-wildlife conflict. Next to Morigo is Rafiki, 3.5 years, rescued from Samburu, another starvation victim due to drought. Identified alone, very thin and weak and skinny, without a sign of other elephants next to him. And that's why we rescued Rafiki. Dusting herself at the end is Mawingu, 2.5 years. And Mawingu was rescued from Laikipia after she had been separated from her family by human beings. And so she's a victim of human-wildlife conflict. Next to Mawingu along the line is the naughtiest elephant around. Her name is Weka, the one that is walking along the line. She's only 2 years old. She was rescued from Sava Conservation Area. She's another starvation victim due to drought. Far and on my right is Ahmed, 3.5 years, rescued from Sava Conservation Area. Found standing next to the dead body of her mother. Her mother was starved to death and the baby left alone. So that is why we rescued Ahmed. Next to me is Sholomai, 2.5 years. Rescued from Laikipia, found on a private farm near Doldol Ranges. Collapsed on the ground, thin and weak and
They can't kill the flies. What's he doing? No. Nice smell.
Ako din ang tayo.